Hi there, my name is Damien Haylor, I'm MD of Popcoms, and today I want to show you an example of visual storytelling in action for a client of ours, Icetrack. Icetrack essentially provide fleet telematics solutions to major retailers and logistics firms. Companies like Sainsbury's Home Delivery, as the Walmart Home Delivery vans, they're all equipped with Icetrack systems. So the issue that we find with a lot of our technology clients is the presentations they use are very sort of product-led, a lot of bullet points, technical information. They're just not customer-friendly, certainly not user-friendly. So Icetrack approached us to look at their presentations with a completely fresh pair of eyes. And essentially when we start working on a presentation, we look at three things. The first is making them flexible. Secondly, it's making them personal, and thirdly, relevant. So when we talk about flexibility, what we're really talking about is the interactive navigation, which just allows you to drill into any part of the presentation, depending on what the customer wants to know about. So rather than going through in a linear fashion, you can just drill straight down into that content. So to my second point around personalisation, what we really mean there is understanding your customers' challenges and needs and really focusing on them, putting them at the centre of the presentation. So what we've done here for Icetrack is build this interactive dashboard. What this allows us to do is on the left-hand side, we have sort of the 5 key business drivers that impact on all fleet businesses. And on the right-hand side, these would be the stakeholders that would be involved in deploying an Icetrack system. So what this allows us to do, for instance, we can talk about profitability. These are more points around that. It allows you to have more of a conversation with the audience, start to get feedback, which of these areas around profitability are an issue for them. So you start to get real actionable intelligence. If you have finance people in the room, you can speak to them specifically. These are areas that might impact them. So what you're doing is you're starting to get conversation going, you're getting useful information back off them about what their key issues are, and this can then inform how you go forward in the presentation and the particular areas that you focus on to relay back to the challenges. So to my third point about personalisation, what you're really trying to do here is create a familiar customer environment. Something that they understand, that resonates with them, and then you can show how your system sort of fits into their world. So for Icetrack, we built this cityscape. They were all around fleet telematics, and we thought that the best way to do this was through a day in the life for the people that actually use the system. So that's the actual drivers and the people back at head office that interact with the system. So we've got this sort of simple interface on the left. This is almost sort of the product side. These are sort of top level, the elements that attract. Here, most importantly, we sort of have the business metrics that we referred to earlier in the challenges. And then this is actually the scenario. So for instance, here we start at 7 o'clock in the morning. The system then tracks that the right vehicles have been loaded, the right drivers are in the right truck, and all the relevant checks have been made. So as we skip through the day, we can show other scenarios. So for instance, here, there's an incorrect directions, the truck's gone off script. So you can see elements light up. But most importantly, what we're showing here is that with the Icetrack system, a lot of these problems are circumvented, and that we can see that service delivery, productivity, sustainability all start to move up because they can capture problems as soon as they happen. As we move through, here's another more sort of complex scenario around geofencing, which essentially allows customers to find out how far a truck is out from delivery. So 15 minutes out, 10 minutes out, so they can prepare for an arrival of particularly if it's sort of a distribution, arrival of a lorry with all the goods, they can have people waiting. And again, we can see the productivity goes up because this solution obviously means things happen faster, so service delivery improves. So with this tool, really, we're able to go through a whole series of scenarios. something they'd all be familiar with. And for instance, end of the day here, truck back at the depot, the ice-track system logs the truck back in. It then sends a debrief on how the driver has been driving throughout the day, any issues, and make sure that all the deliveries are done. But what's really key here is at the end of this, you can then turn to your audience, and based on all the business metrics that have been gradually improving throughout the day, you can then highlight how the system has actually impacted the value it's brought to the business. So really very simple. By showing this scenario without going into a lot of product detail, you demonstrated how it works, the value to the users, the value to the business as a whole. And this is really what visual storytelling is all about, making it very simple, very visual, very memorable for the audience. So to summarise, when presenting to customers, try and think about those three things. The first is flexibility. If you can, build in the navigation. It allows the customer to steer the conversation and go to the areas they want to go to. 2, make it personal. Think about the customer's needs, the opportunity and the challenges they face, and build them in, because with the right kind of questions, you can get great feedback off them. And 3, make it relevant. Try and think about a scenario that they feel comfortable with, familiar with, and then that really helps you to position your solution within that environment. And if you do all of that, that should really bring your presentations to life. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.